jokes, yeah, you're insightful, but are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host, stand up. Are you likable?
Don't want to talk about, or
What was that?
is there anything you don't want to talk about, or
Israel,
anything?
Palestine. Otherwise,
Yeah, I try to stay away from politics too.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about specifically?
I mean, we've probably had some good conversations about promoting, but yeah, no, nothing really burning a hole in my ass that we have to talk about. Nothing specific, nothing really to promote specifically.
Cool.
But no, I'm not off limits on anything.
Sweet. I stay away from politics. It's
not gonna help.
Never fun for the show.
Yeah, and so often like you'll see like comments on other things like, "Oh, this was great until you guys got political." And it's like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's not the time. We're trying to be likable.
We are trying to be likable.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do. Hello and welcome to Likable, a show where we discuss stand-up comedy from an entry-level perspective. I am your host, David Stickle, and today I am joined by Mr. Stephen Brown.
What is up, my friend? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Stephen, where in the world are you right now? This is a Likable Zoom episode.
Yeah, I am in Vestal, New York, which is a suburb of Binghamton. So probably about 2.5 hours from where you all are, I think.
Hell yeah, probably. I think Binghamton's like, probably 2. Yeah. You should know because you have Michael on so many shows. You should like have a Michael clocker on it. Like I know where he is.
Dude, he's got to be like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? That dude is everywhere. So
yeah.
We'd be very busy tracking him.
Yeah, he's an active little guy, Michael is.
He earns every spot he gets. That guy's funny as hell.
Yeah, you know what? He really does. He's so he's on a spot with you this weekend. He's headlining for you.
Yeah, I've had him up at Crooked Mouth as a spot I run in Endicott, and he's been up there twice. First time was part of our first festival. The second time it was actually a year ago tomorrow. He was an opener, and now he's coming back and headlining. So he's ascended quickly.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Was it a year ago when he was your opener? Was that the first time seeing him?
No, he was there at the festival probably 5 months prior, and he did like a 7-minute spot. So he's up to 7 to 15 to 45. So he's growing up so fast.
He really is. I've done so many shows with Michael that I could probably like sit in the back and mouth him his sets. Yeah.
And me and a buddy have done that with other comics we've been on so many shows with. Like, let's see how much of Paul's set we can do. Yeah, and we could probably do about 30 of the 45.
Yeah. So Stephen, how long have you been doing comedy for?
This will be 5 years in April, so almost 5 years. Almost 5 years, yeah.
Cool. What were you like always into comedy? Was it like something that you just like found later in life, or like? Yeah,
I've always enjoyed it as a casual fan. But then, so what happened is me and my buddy got divorced at like the same time, and the only
you divorced your buddy?
Yeah, we both had the right sense to get rid of our wives at the same time, and the only time we both didn't have our kids was every other Monday, and so we would just meet at Kelly's, where they had the open mic coincidentally on Monday nights. So we went every other Monday as just audience of the open mic for over a year before I started doing it. And then he started dating this woman named Emily, who's fantastic. She was like, "You're always funny here at the table. Why don't you do it?" And I was like, "Well, bullshitting with your buddies is way different than writing a joke." She's like, "Well, my birthday's in 3 weeks. You have to do a set for it." And that's how it started. I did 5 minutes, but I knocked it out in 3:15. And
that's cool.
The way it goes. Yeah.
Do you remember what you joked about?
I still do one of the jokes in my set occasionally. It was right after Easter, so there were some hacky Easter Jesus jokes, like Tinder jokes, the normal stuff when you're getting out in there. But no, one of the jokes still lives on occasionally.
Yeah. Did you so you had like 3 weeks to prepare for this. Did you already have like jokes in mind that you were gonna do, or was it like like that night you got home, started writing stuff down, and then got
After
to it?
having gone for a little while, you started having the notes app of like, oh, this could be a funny idea. So I had some
Okay.
jumping off points, but I hadn't committed
Yeah.
to it. And honestly, if she didn't make me, I never would have. It's just I never enjoyed speaking in front of people. I was always terrified of it. So I mean, for the first 6 months, I could not go on without like 2 or 3 gin and tonics. It was. And since then, I've made a rule: there's no drinking and joking at all. And now I don't drink
Yeah.
anytime I do comedy, but because I would be spending too much money and be an alcoholic. So
Yeah. That's funny. Do you so were you like hooked like after that first open mic, or was it like something you retouched like 2 weeks later or something like that?
yeah, from then I've never gone more than 2 weeks without getting on stage. Like
Okay, that's
initially, it was
awesome.
just every other week for probably 4 or 5 months. But then once I started like getting shows, I started being like, all right, getting my mom to watch the kids until she
Hmm.
died. But then they're old enough so they can stay home on their own for a little bit. So sorry, that got dark for a second, but
It's fine.
yeah, once I had the ability to get out and do it more, I did. And it's yeah, I don't think I've ever gone more than 2 weeks without being on stage since then.
That's awesome. I feel like I'm sure you feel this way too. I also like never go more than like I mean 2 weeks would feel like a lifetime, you know? So it like like that feeling of like rust really sets in for that first set back.
Oh,
It's crazy.
oh yeah, like right now, I got a death in the family in December, and I dipped out for like 3 weeks. But typically, I'm up 3 or 4 times a week now. And if
Yeah.
it's one of those where it's like, if I go a whole week between, it's like I forgot how to do this. Like, what are
Uh-huh.
words? This is gonna be terrifying. It's crazy how quickly you get rusty. Like you said, the ring rust is very real.
Mm. Is there a big like comedy scene up there?
Ah, big is generous. We've got a lot of promoters, which is nice. We've got 3 promoters and probably like 8 to 12 active comics in the
Okay.
area. So like there's usually at least like 2 or 3 shows a week to go beyond, and there's usually 1 or 2 mics a week. So it's enough for a small town to support us for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys like feed each other like shows, or like do you like if let's just say you have some guy named John up in the area that also produces shows, like John goes on your show, you go on John's show, and like all that kind of stuff?
Uh, yes, but like me and Mike Peters, he runs Homebrewed Comedy. He runs all the Don't Tells here. He's got like 10 or 15 rooms. He's kind of like the Central New York impresario for comedy. We both kind of have the same rule where typically we try not to reuse someone in a specific room within the same year.
Okay, that's a good rule to have.
Yeah, because thankfully we have enough people regionally where we don't have to. And obviously, if someone drops, hey, and I need someone tonight, like I'll hit up Eric or Jerry or someone who's like there and can just jump in, who's going to be around anyway. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I try not to do anyone within a year, and Mike does the same thing in his rooms. But I might still get like 10 gigs from Mike because he runs a lot of rooms in a year.
Hmm.
Whereas for me, I only have the one, and I have very little interest in running anymore because I absolutely
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah, it's producing is not fun.
No, it's
It's
constantly being stressed about selling tickets all the time.
mhm.
And now that my venue wanted me to go every 2 weeks this year, it's like
Oh my
normally it
goodness.
used to be once a month, and now it's like every 2 weeks. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like just
Yeah.
stressed out all the time. I'm amazed I've had any solid bowel movements this year. It's awful.
There's still hope. What what like what's it called? Like how many seats are in the venue?
We consider 55 a sellout.
Okay,
But if we have to go into the back room and move things around, we've had as many as 77 in there, but
that's
it's
awesome.
really nuts to butts, and we have to add a lot of seats, and it's not fire code ready.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah, for
appropriate.
sure.
Yeah, but I mean,
Still,
I think outside of one Blizzard show, the worst attendance we've ever had was 36.
okay, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, so and it's a small room, so 36 is still full enough to get everyone feet together. It's everything is tight, so it's good.
Yeah, I have a small bar that I operate here, and I run a monthly out of there too. and I don't do tickets. So it's just like whoever shows up can, get a spot. I do like sell table reservations. So, people know it gets packed and that if they want to reserve their table, they can pay ahead of time for it. But like, we're coded for like 40 people and sometimes we go way above that.
Oh yeah.
But it's so small, like, I've had as low as like, I think I've had shows where like only 20 people showed up, but it still felt like a hot room. It was like a good room.
That's the biggest thing. Having people close together is what's most important.
Yeah.
What's nice is like in doing, like obviously I mentioned, like the ticketing thing is terrible. It's always pressure. But I have a great deal. Like what the bar does is every show I have, they know when I set it up. Hey, here's the lineup. They know what the budget that we need for ticket wise. So if I need to sell 33 $10 tickets, we only sell 27. They'll make that difference up. So I'm never going home like eating my own lunch. Like they'll make sure that I break even where I may not always make anything. But I mean, if we're trying to make money, we're in the wrong business. So
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, but it's great knowing that there's really never, I don't really have to ever worry. And we've got a guy who owns a local record shop here named Soundground, is a guy named Jay, where anytime we have bigger artists come through, because we've had some, like we've had Jean-Marc Cerezi come through, we've had Jeffrey Osmus come through. When we have those bigger acts, he will sponsor the show and like throw a couple $100 at it to make sure we can, pay everyone, which is great. It's
that's awesome. How do you have like I'm not going to ask for worse, but do you have like a favorite, like kind of like headliner that kind of showed up out of nowhere, like because it's a hike to you from New York?
Yeah, as far as like out of nowhere, no, because I vet everyone before I book them. But I would say the guy who surprised me the most was Pete Ravello out of New York City.
Okay.
An absolute fucking killer. I just seen like a couple quick clips, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's book him." And I don't know if I've seen anyone, maybe besides Jeffrey Osmus, destroy as hard as he did.
That's awesome.
And like now he's on tour with like Dan Soder and Sean Murphy, so it's like he's moving on up, and he's opens for Caitlin Palouf all the time. But Pete Ravello is unreal. He's so fucking good. He's got such a heavy Staten Island accent, it like hurts your ears, but it's so funny.
That's awesome. It's cool to watch them get bigger, right? I mean, like
Dude. Yeah, it's really, it's not. It's like obviously it's like I had nothing to do with it, but it's like, ooh, I kind of got in early. That feels good.
Yeah, I got them when they were cheap.
I got them when I could afford them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I got it there right at the right. Like Jean-Marc Cerezi is probably, would be very expensive to get up now because he's exploded in the past 6 months. He
has. I booked him over the summer, and we got him a week after his new special dropped.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we only got him because he was driving from the city on the way to do a weekend in Rochester. So I was like, give you like, a great door deal, paid him a little over $1,000 for a Wednesday night. But he did it, and it was awesome. He was an hour late, so but we made it happen. And he's one of those where it's like, oh, I won't get him again. Yeah,
that's amazing, man. I would love to book him on something. That'd be awesome. You said you do like a bi-monthly now, so like how many comics do you like kind of I'm asking you like production questions because I still have a lot to learn about producing a show too, because like even like in my area, I mean it's like I'm a lot closer to the city, so it's like a little bit easier to get people up on the train and whatnot. But like, so you said you have I think like 12, like you said, like consistent comedians up there, and if you're not trying to repeat them so much on the same show, like how are you finding like other comics? Like what's or like are you just doing really short, like small lineups and then just trying to stretch them out? Or
most shows are 3 or 4 comics.
Okay.
And whenever I book the headliner, I trust them to pick their feature because most of them don't have a car. So it's like, hey, pick your feature. You do 45, they do 20, 25. Here's what the pay is for them. And then I will have like a local or local adjacent, somewhere from like Scranton or Syracuse or Elmira. So within like an hour away, come down and do like a 10 to 15 spot. And
That's
I'm sure,
cool.
like you, I host them all, and I
Yeah.
bomb my dick off almost every time. Uh,
Yeah.
because
Same.
we have
Can a host tell a joke? Stand up. Are you likable? Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. You caught me singing my own theme song like a goofy goober. All right, I'm here to tell you about show dates in this interruptible. On 3/21 Union Street Comedy. That show is probably going to be sold out, but I don't know. Check, see if there's tickets available. Maybe buy some. Even if you can't come, that would be kind of cool. Just buy tickets. That would be lovely. On 3/25, I'm gonna be in Jersey City at the Tickled Souls comedy show, brought to you by Jessica DeCanto, who I did the Staten Island Comedy Fest with. Fantastic comedian. I'm excited to be on this lineup. That's going to be a great show in New Jersey. Boy, oh boy. On 4/3, doing a Don't Tell. That's also exciting. That's going to be in New Paltz, New York. On 4/10, Two-Way Brewing with Mr. Salty and Mr. Bailey. Salty and Bailey, great guys. These guys, everybody knows them. They're wonderful people. Everybody enjoys them. I don't know. I'm looking out the window right now, and I don't know why there's moths everywhere, and it's concerning. Something's going on. End of days. No big deal. 4/11, Grog Show. The lineup is pretty sick. Not gonna lie. 4/14, we're going to be doing Gold Sounds in Brooklyn. That's going to be the BK all day. That's fun. On 4/18, we got the Sloop Joke Bomb. That might be our last one for like a month or two. I'm going to space them out a little bit in the summer, I think, unless I'm just making so much ha-has that we just keep it rolling. Like fucking Limp Bizkit, dude. And on 4/24, I'm not on this show, but it's the Don't Tell All-Stars show. That's going to be fantastic. I adjusted my shirt just now. If you're just listening to this instead of watching it on my YouTube at David Stickle Comedy, you missed out. I definitely flashed a nipple. And usually you have to pay extra for that. Anyways, that's going to be the Don't Tell All-Star shows on 4/24. That's what we've got for April's thus far. And I'm going to be honest with you, that the comedians on that lineup are Hulu and Don't Tell YouTube comedians. That's why I'm not on the lineup. Simply just not there yet. And yeah, which is a hard way to put that. So hard. All right, back to the show, you fucking goobers.
so many people who come to every show, or like
Mhm.
if I have 20 shows in a year, they'll come to 12 or 14 of them.
Mhm.
So I make myself do at least 8 new minutes every 2 weeks. And I
Amazing.
don't know about you, but I don't write 8 good minutes every 2 weeks.
No,
You know?
same. Same.
Like,
Yeah.
and after every show, if 3 of it works, I'm like, shit, that's great. Because if you get 3 minutes a month, that's a new 40 every year.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So, but it's So some weeks you're like, man, I'm on fire, and then like some months it's like 3 days before the show, and like, man, I got dog shit.
Yeah.
So, but people know what the deal is, and I don't make the show about me. I just do my announcements, do a couple jokes, and get the hell out of the way, and let the stars do what they got to do.
Yeah, let the crew have fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I'm trying to figure out, like, because I still want to feed my community, you know what I mean? Like I got great comics around me. I want to bring them up and have them do time, because there's not really, I feel like we have so many comedians around here, and we don't produce enough shows for all of them. But like, also our shows are kind of tapped as far as like, our towns are very small. Like, we have the city of Poughkeepsie, which is next to us. They pretty good population density, but like they don't show up for shows. It's like
Really?
that we have Just Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie, and he does a great job producing and setting up their shows. It's a great club. It's amazing.
I've been there. I saw Soder there once.
Oh,
great.
really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do a great job. But like if you're trying to do anything outside of that, I mean, it's tough to move 30 tickets. It really is, like in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and it's I get it because like where I do my shows, Endicott, small towns, like 15 minutes from Binghamton, and
Hmm.
it took a while to like build it up. It was great. I'll keep watching their balls the whole time. Like the bar I do it is, they will do paid promotions on the things. Like they're fully invested as a partner, and that's why
Oh,
I
that's
never want
cool.
to work anywhere else because I hear the nightmares of other people, the places they're working with. Oh, they didn't promote it once on their socials, and they've got 3,000
Hmm.
followers. No mention ever that there's a show until 2 hours before it. It's like,
Yep.
well, yeah, and then they get mad when there's 14 people there. It's like, well, what do you expect?
Hmm.
You know, the easiest thing any of us can do is promote something on social media. It takes literally 20 seconds.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
like I don't expect out of town comics to promote heavily that they're coming here because they're not going to have any draw here. No one's going to know who they are. But if I book a local and they don't share it and promote it, they're not going to get booked again for a long time because it's like
Hmm.
9 out of 10 times, like you're here because you're funny enough, you're a good community member, but like you're here because you have 9 friends. Like get them in
Yeah.
the fucking room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the name of the game. It's like your local talent, that's your enhancement talent. You use them to put over the big guy, to use wrestling talk.
For sure. Yeah, wrestling talk works for me, man. I get it.
Good.
Yeah, we got to put people over.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll be a heel if I have to. I don't mind.
Hell yeah. The writing so much for regular shows is like so painful sometimes because I'm just
Yeah.
like, because like I'll have like a set I'm really like trying to hone in on, right? That I when I go to other places, like I use that, so I'm just like, all right, this is good stuff. But then like, because I do monthlies and I produce at 3 spots, and then we do some other stuff too, so it's like I'm just like, I gotta come up with new stuff because they need new stuff, but
Yeah.
so that's painful. It does force you to write, which is great, but boy, is it painful to they're like, what am I
Yeah.
this week?
Right. And like sometimes like my a good friend of mine is always like, I know when you're getting laid a lot because your jokes get so hornier. It's like, because like all you're thinking about is like what's happening in your life, so that's what you're going to write about. And like,
100%.
yeah, so it is what it is. Like I had a chance to headline a show last weekend. It was great. I did 45, but I'm typically kind of sitting in the 20, 25 range most shows. So it was weird. I had to go through and like, all right, here's my master that I've been running. Like, where do all these other jokes fit in? Like in the chronology, because you want it to like have a narrative and make sense
Of
of what
course.
your set is. And it's really hard to fit in stuff because you're like, man, I need an extra 8 minutes in here, and this doesn't really match any of this. So that it makes you like, all right, now I gotta like write a segue,
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It can be.
Definitely. It's you bring up a kind of a good point. Because I've been thinking about this a lot this at least the last like 2 weeks, because there's a lot of comedians I would like to book on different things, and that I think are actually really funny. They write good jokes, but they don't know how to like write like they don't know how to make a good set,
Right.
so yeah, and I feel like that doesn't get talked about a lot, is like the set creation versus like the joke writing. Like, so do you typically try to like follow, because when we're looking for flow, are you trying to like ultimately do like a storyline, or are you just like, do you have just kind of have it like in chunks with like a segue in between, but these are all irrelevant to each other?
Yeah, it's like me personally, because I write like a lot of like darker jokes. I'm not like an edgelord or any of that whack shit. But like you have to always start with something that kind of gives people permission to like come along the ride. So it's like they always say like start with a joke about yourself, right? Like understand what you're looking at. So it's like my first like 4 or 5 minutes is just like, I'm a big guy, right? So here's jokes about weight loss, whatever bullshit and shit, and then it'll go into dating, then it goes into, oh, I had kids, and it's divorce, so it's just like all those little chunks, but they're like, anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes long each. And when I write a new joke I can fit in, great. That little chunk gets a little longer. That's one thing I tell people, especially the new comics, all the time. It's like, cool, you're coming out to all the open mics, but you're not seeing what any of us who are like a little more tenured really do. Like what me or Mike or Bill are doing at an open mic is much different than what we're doing when we're at a paid show. You
For
know, because
sure.
Mike, you're just like throwing whatever against the wall. Does any reaction at all? And then it's like go to a show, like watch the set construction, because it's really disorienting when you hear someone say, "Oh, my girlfriend," then I'm single, and then they go back to their girlfriend again. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you just said. And for me, it takes me all the way out if I have to start worrying about the continuity of it, of watching someone set.
100%. 100%. It's like, and they also like, uh, I feel like sometimes when you do like an open mic, it's like at least the material you're working on, you might have just been inspired by this thing. And I'm going to use young comics as the example here, but this is true for like, you know, a lot of different stuff, but like young new comics, like they love the Holocaust, right? They're like,
Don't we all? Don't we
yeah,
all?
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's the young comedian's favorite pastime. So it's
And
like
9/11.
yeah, and 9/11. So there's always going to be like 8 like Holocaust jokes in a row. And like I don't know, like I think when you're building like a set, like if you've got a 10 out of 10 Holocaust joke, right? Like
Let it fly. Yeah.
let it fly. But I mean, you don't want to like Holocaust, 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 great Holocaust joke, Holocaust, Holocaust. You know, like it's like by the time they get to your great joke, they're already like, geez, this guy just loves the Holocaust. Like they don't
Yeah.
see like the bigger picture of the whole the set.
Right. And also they have to know you can't open with a Holocaust joke. Like
Mm-mm.
no, you need to earn those. Like if you're going to make a race joke, a genocide joke, a rape joke, a pedophilia
Mhm.
joke, like you will have to gain their trust first. Like
Yeah, for sure.
you have to have them dip their toes in that pool. Like you have to be a little dark. Then you
Mhm.
can go a little further, and then a little further. But you can't come out the gate hot like that, or people are just going to get turned off. Like that was a little much. You know, like you got to put some lube on your finger first.
Yeah, yeah, go pro state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the intro joke is super important to let people know that either you're silly or you shouldn't be taken seriously, or but that yeah, I think trusting the comedian is like so important for these like first jokes. You know, it's
Yeah.
super crucial.
You got to show them like, hey, you may not like everything I say, but I'm invested in you having a good time too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you don't have to like every joke. That's cool. That's fine. But you got to build up enough of them where it's like, oh, you didn't like that one? Cool. Here's another one that's great. Here's another one. Oh, you didn't like that one? Cool. I've got 3 more that are bangers coming right up.
Yeah, and
I'm
like
sounding very egotistical, and I don't mean it that way.
no, you're fine. You're fine. It's like one of those things where like even with hosting, like I feel a great responsibility to set up the show for everybody else. And like, you know, I'm sure you feel this way, but you know, like sometimes when you like really fall flat on whatever you just tried on your crowd for the first time,
Mhm.
it's like, oh man, like, you know, I gave so and so a hole to dig out of a little bit there, you know, like I feel bad. But also it's just like, you know what I think what helps is if you produce the same spot a lot, is like because they're repeat customers in the crowd, they already like know you and like you. So you kind of get like
Yeah.
that celebrity effect a little bit, you know?
Right. Yeah. They already know what you're doing. And it's so easy to just be like, guys, you know how hard it is to write 8 new minutes every 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm. For
Like,
sure.
this is hard. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, everyone else is going to play the hits. You get my bullshit. You know,
Yep.
we'll figure it out. But anytime I do have like the bigger people come through, it's like, okay, no, we're playing the hits. We're not worried about new jokes this week.
Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
have a rule. If I'm doing more than 5 minutes anywhere, whether I'm working the club, my room, another show for someone else, I have to do a new joke every set.
Really
Yep.
interesting.
If you're doing just 5, then like whatever, you know, you're probably doing like a
Mhm.
guest spot somewhere, like just play the hits, whatever.
For
Otherwise,
sure.
a new joke every set.
Where do you fit it in the middle?
Wherever it makes the most sense.
Okay.
But yeah, typically you try to sandwich it within stuff that works, you know. But like if I have a new divorce joke, well, that's probably going to go at the end, you know, with the other divorce stuff. Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
wherever it just makes the most sense in the set.
Yeah. When you so since you do 45s and you know spots like that, but you said like your 20 is like your 25 I think you said is like your concrete set right now. When you
Yeah.
do when you do like a 5-minute spot, Is it like the hardest thing in the world? Like,
Even doing a 10-minute spot, it's like it should be so easy because it's like, dude, this is if you've been doing this 5 years and you can't walk into any room and crush 10, like hang it up, right? You know, it's like you should be able to do that. But it's hard to choose. You know, it's like choosing your favorite baby. And especially when it's like at this point, when you have a longer set, you're building in callbacks and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, but if I want to have that callback, then I have to do this joke. But this joke doesn't make sense if I don't do these three. So it's like, is the callback important enough where I use this minute up? Or do I have to get rid of that? So it's very difficult to choose a short set.
It's almost like Tetris a little bit, you know?
Well, yeah, and also because it's like you shorten your chunks, right? Like if every chunk is an album, you're just playing the singles now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so it's like, all right, you know, cool. This one's going to have these 3 jokes about this, then these 4 about this, instead of what's usually 10 or 12 jokes. And you have to like, then you worry about, again, the narrative. Okay, does it still make sense without all those little pieces building up? So it's, you're absolutely right. Doing 5 is very hard now.
Yeah. I was like, I did an 8 over the weekend, right? And I've been doing like 15s a lot lately. And you know, so like having to do an 8, I'm like, all right, like that's such a random amount of time. Like, like what even fits in 8 minutes? You know, because like in my mind, I'm like, I can at least break most of my sets into like 2 themes, you know, my first half theme and my second half theme, you know, but it's like, you know, I'll have a ton of jokes that lead into each theme, but I'm like, you know, do I conclude half of the second theme or do I just kind of extend the first one? You know, it's like one of those, because I want the continuity, you know?
Sure. And now you work on the cleaner side, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
I do clean. I don't if my set entirety was to be classified, it wouldn't be clean, but I feel like anybody that watches me would be telling you like would be like, you're not a dirty comic at all, you know, but like I'll say fuck every once in a while during my set or you know, because like I actually had a comedian on the podcast who runs the Clean Comedy Collective, and we discussed like what clean is, and like squeaky clean is like no religion, drugs, sex, or politics, or and it's like all of these things, including cuss words. And I'm like, all right, well, I know I can not cuss, and you know, I don't talk about drugs, so it's like, all right, can I eliminate sexual innuendos out of my set, which is hard. It's
yeah. No, absolutely it is, and it's like that's another thing too. When you're working really short, like I said, it's hard. A lot of my jokes I need to build trust first. So it's like sometimes if I'm doing a 5-minute set, like I'm going for it at 45 seconds.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like if I'm getting a blowjob from a cheese pizza or something like that. You know,
So we're like, we'll see how this lands. But what's cool about hosting is that you can sit there and be like, all right, I'm feeling you out. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get that job, which is fun. The what's it called there? We got in touch because I'm going up there in June, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. I believe so.
That's cool.
With Travis, right?
With Travis, yeah.
Okay.
It's very exciting. I'm seeing him this Friday, actually. Yeah, he's gonna be on my spot in Hopewell Junction. Yeah.
Oh, very good. How much time you giving him?
I think he's gonna do 15.
Oh, he'll do 20.
Yeah, love that.
Travis has never seen a light he couldn't run. I'd hate to be a passenger in his car.
That's funny. Yeah, I've seen clips and all that kind of stuff. He's a super nice dude, and yeah, he's just really funny. So Michael and Gubiade connected us in that sense.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him live though. That'll be cool.
No, he's good. He's a lot of fun. I've worked with him a bunch. And like we're at the point now where we just like bullshit on the side. Like it's not even just about work. And what he's doing with the Saratoga Festival, that's God, what a fucking undertaking. God bless him. That's gonna be big.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and talk to him on the show actually about all of that, because I'm curious about festival setups and talking to one in Jersey too and how they're setting theirs up. But yeah, I mean, just from a production standpoint, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, I hate it. I'm already working on booking the last headliner right now for the year 3 in October, and I don't recommend anyone do it. It's terrible. It's stressful. And if I could give you any advice, it's don't try to watch 120 tapes in a weekend.
Yeah, because you're gonna hate everybody.
You will hate comedy. You will be like, this is, why do I do this? I never want to laugh again. It's horrible. But also it's like you also don't want to sit there and do it like for an hour every week or every couple of days. You just want to like get it done. But
yeah,
it's a real endurance test.
Yeah, for sure. The so you run the Crooked Mouth Comedy Festival?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. The how many do you do more than one venue for that?
No, we do all in the one spot.
Okay.
Because I don't want to like worry about other venues. As I call it, the Crooked Mouth Comedy Fest. Like I don't do any branding for me. Because I only want to work with the one venue, so I let them have all the branding. And when they try to get bigger people, they're like, "Oh, we can rent out this theater and sell our beers." Like, why do you want other people to make your money? Like,
yeah,
we'll do it here because it's fine, it works. We don't have to move things around. It's easy. And I know like a lot of festivals were like, "Wow, you get all this blah 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 blah." It's like, okay, that's not us. We're a small town thing. We're gonna get 250 people through the door over 5 shows. And it is what it is. There's not going to be industry. There's not going to be like like a college professor like giving you a lecture like advice. But what it's going to be is a great networking. I always make sure that there's comics from different scenes on every show. Like if there's locals on, it's like I try to have 1 or 2 locals on every show because I want my scene to be represented in it if they want to be a part of it. But I'm going to make sure they're meeting comics from New York City, you mean comics from Scranton, you mean people from Buffalo. So it's like they're networking that way. And then it's always cool. And a few months after that, I see all those people working in those different parts. Like, oh, it worked. But we can't offer a lot. That's why it's like submission fees are very low. We try to get like really strong headliners. Even if they're not names everyone knows, like the last 30 to 40 minutes of that show is going to be a hammer and you're going to have a great time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do you stagger the shows if it's like 5 shows and would you say like 2 days?
We do 5 shows or 4 days. We do a Thursday, a Friday, 2 Saturday, and a Sunday brunch.
Sunday brunch. What's that one like?
The first time we did it, I was like nervous. I was like, it's a cool idea, and honestly, outside of one Blizzard show, the brunch shows have always been really hot. They do a special brunch menu at the bar. They do Bloody Marys, mimosas, beer mosas. And, it's a brewery breakfast. Like, it's not anything mind-blowing. It's pancakes, it's eggs. It's like, but it's still breakfast, But the people are like very like showing up like, oh, this is going to be fun. Everyone loves brunch. You get to have a couple drinks before noon. And it's been great. Like we had Danny Jollis down. He did one in January, and it was awesome. And it's just a lot of fun. And I always worried about the vibe, but every time we've done it, it's been like a really good time.
That's awesome. That bar must love you, dude. 5 shows in a weekend. They're like, yes.
Yeah, they do. And what's nice too is it's a nice way to kind of cherry pick acts from the club because we're only like an hour and 15 minutes from Syracuse. So I will see like, oh, who do they have coming this weekend? And I'll send them up. They're like, what time are you flying out Sunday? And they're usually like 4 o'clock. I'm like, cool. I'll drive up and pick you up. Come do a brunch show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick. That's never even crossed my mind. I'm like, yeah, I'm still navigating like time slots that work the best. And I'm really hoping to bring it earlier in the night, like my goal is to get to a 7 o'clock showtime at some point right now. The 8 o'clocks are just easier to move. I'm hoping to get to 7 though.
Well, I used to do 7s, but then we've had some shows that sold really well. So I start doing all like seating at 8, show at 8:30. So if we have to, we can add an early show.
Oh, okay. Like a 6 o'clock?
Yeah, we'll do a 6 o'clock show sometimes. I kind of use the club model. And
Yeah,
then just hustle and turn the room over real quick. Like we've only done it like 4 or 5 times, But like when we had Jeffrey Osmus up, like he sold out 2 shows. So we're like, all right, cool. We got to turn and burn, get it through.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I think Laugh It Up, the clip here will do like a 7 and a 9. But yeah, 6 and an 8 actually sounds a lot more ideal.
Yeah, and realistically, like the 8 is actually at 8:30. Like everything gets pushed a little bit, but it's it's a lot of fun. So, but it's hard. Like that's the thing. Like you can't if you start the show at 7, people are buying tickets for a 7 night, and they're planning their night for a 7. Then you got to email them all like, hey, we're pushing it to 8, and it's like a pain in the ass. So I just start with, if things go really well, we can add an early and just leave it set up for that.
Heck yeah, dude. That's sick. Sick. How like early inspirations with comedy? Like who caught your eye first as like a stand-up comic, and like do you feel like you've like modeled jokes after anybody? Like everybody when they start has like a comedian in mind that they want to be like. Do you remember who that was for you?
Well, the first comedy I ever loved, I remember was when Comedy Central used to actually just show specials all the time.
Yeah.
I would watch the Amazing Jonathan special. It was like a magic special. I loved that. And then the first like comedy album I heard was Dennis Leary's No Cure for Cancer. And like it's very ranty and angry. And if I heard it today, I'd be like, this is fucking garbage. Like it's not what I like. But when you're 13, you're like, oh, this rules. He's so mad. I'm mad. But I'm a big fan of like just the people who are like really whip smart, because I get bored of my own jokes. Like I don't do stories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like a bit that's more than 90 seconds. Like a joke that's longer than that. And it's not necessarily one-liners, but because it follows a narrative. But I like, hit me with your jokes. Don't ask what anyone in the audience does for work. I hate watching crowd work. Yes, it can be very funny when it's done good. But people are like, oh, I see all these clips. It's great. Like you see a 30-second clip that was the best thing they did out of 18 minutes of trying.
Yep, for sure.
Like, I just want to hear the jokes that you wrote and you practiced and rehearsed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what that guy does for work. I don't care who's been fucking, how long they've been married. I don't want to take a census at a comedy show. I hate it. And so it's like I try to avoid it at all costs. I just want to hear quick jokes. So like initially when I first started getting back into comedy, like Mark Norman's Out to Lunch was really big. Then I thought Soup to Nuts needed another year of writing for. So it's like I'm finding as I get more longer into doing comedy, every 2 years the stuff I like kind of switches over as my sensibilities change with it.
That's interesting. So do you think that's you evolving as maybe like a writer, or do you think it's like, because I mean I can see like the crowd work stuff not being like your favorite because you were more of like an actual fan of comedy, but that's but crowd work is not writing, right? So I mean you're like that, but then like even moving on to like Mark Norman and being like this could have used another year of like practice and writing, so it does seem like you care a lot about writing.
Yeah, I wish I was better at it. And like you said, there's some people that like Jeffrey Osmus, one of my favorites. He does a ton of crowd work, but I've seen him enough where it's like he has his questions he asks that come off as crowd work, and he'll do a little bit, but it always feeds into a bit that he has.
Yeah, yep.
He's very skilled at turning whatever interaction he gets into the bit that he wants to get to, and that has to take so much work to be able to spin, and make it seem seamless. But yeah, and I think the biggest issue is like, how much comedy do you watch? Local comedy, stand, everything. Like, you're probably seeing comedy 3 to 4 hours a week, right?
Yeah, probably. I watch a Don't Tell every day, and and then I also will just Instagram, and I try to pick one special a week that's like an hour because I don't want to lose my attention span. And then then you're at shows. And then you're at open mics, and you're seeing a lot. Yeah,
dude, I would say probably 90% of the shows I go to, 20 minutes into a headliner set, I'm like, all right, let's fucking go. It's like the attention span is gone. Yeah. But I think it's just when you see so much comedy.
Oh, we don't have an ad yet. and that's okay. I'm here to tell you to to consider sponsoring an episode. And if you are curious about what it might sound like, we have a submission from Mr. Patrick Smith, and you're going to hear that in 3, 2, 1.
Brought to you by Feasties. Have you been craving a late night snack that meets none of your daily nutritional goals? Feasties is an unpredictable snack that depends on whatever you ate that day. Sometimes it's messy because of poor choices. Other times it's highly compact because we forgot to add water. When you're in the mood for something that makes you sick and tastes like shit, Feasties is your bottom choice. At best, it's number 2.
You really start to, it kind of all blends into itself. And then so it's when you see something different or something that really stands out that pulls you in, it's like, oh, okay. Because like, I've heard what this guy's doing. I've heard what this guy's doing. You see something new, it's like, oh, that's a thing you can do. And then I'll get really into that and I'll really take all that in as I can. Then it's like, okay. It's kind of like when you listen to music, like, all right, you start to like Nirvana, right? Then you hear Green Day, right? Then you hear Bad Brains. You know, it's like you get like your niche titans as it goes. And like, and I think it's the same way with comedy.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting to watch different comedians because like you can kind of just see how it's done differently. And like I think it's part of why I like talking to so many different comedians, because I can hear about like how you have gotten to where you gotten, or like maybe how you've just changed as a writer or whatever. But like but as far as like seeing things done differently, I don't know why this popped in my head, but we've been very lucky to have like Louis C.K. come to our local club. And it's almost like every other like month he's here. And you know, there was a time where it was like 3 times a week, and then it was like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it would like 3 weeks would go by, and then he'd do another 3. But like he's been bringing up so many different features, you know, from the cellar. Oh, amazing. And it's always a surprise, so it's just like, oh my God, who is it? And then you know, what really helped is I got to see different hosts host and how they interact with the crowd. And that helped me a lot as a host, because I was like, oh, it doesn't have to just be crowd work. Oh, you can actually do the cell phone stuff at the end. Like you can just do different ways. And it was like very cool to see. Just even like that separate skill set of like being a host and how that can be done differently, I thought was pretty interesting.
Right. And you don't have to do crowd work to work a crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to use your space. You make eye contact. You make sure you're addressing this side of the stage, this side of the stage. People back there. You know, there's ways to make them feel involved without asking them anything about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
100%.
Yeah, I've got the microphone. So
yeah.
Like, there's going to be me talking. Yeah, but there's a way to make them feel like they're a part of it without making them a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about like different touch points, eye contact, all that kind of stuff. That's really helpful. Yeah. Do you have any like goals with comedy? I know you're producing a lot of shows, but like, do you have like any like long-term goals, or is there just like something in the back of your head that you're like, oh, I hope I get to do this one day?
You know, people ask if I want to like go full time, and it's like, no, I don't think I do. You know, I've got 3 kids. I've got a single income. I need health insurance. I need that 401k. I don't think I'm ready to take that jump. I don't think it's the right move for my family. But when I look around, like, I would love to be a guy who could be that regional headliner, right? Like a guy who's like, all right, you know, it's like about 3.5 years in, I jumped from being the 10 to 15 guy to being the 20, 25 guy. Like last year, I headlined probably 3 or 4 times. I headlined a show at a festival. That was awesome. Like, I would love to get to the point where I'm a regional headliner, where if I'm getting booked, 75% of the time is to headline. Like, I think that would be like a really good spot to be in. And like I've said, I never really want to tour because I'm poor, right? I've got a job. I need vacation time. But, you know, I got one set up in August of this year. I'm going to go down to like North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, do a week of shows with a buddy of mine, my buddy Tom McLaurin. He runs a bunch of rooms. He's like, hey, my last week of the month is like my hottest shows. Come do them. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it, right? What's the worst that happens is a good experience, if nothing else. So,
Hell yeah.
but there's not really a hard and fast goal. Like just today, it came up on my memories. Like today was the first time I was hired to do a weekend at the club as a host. And when I
That's
first started, I thought that was like the pinnacle, right? You know, it's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm going to do comedy for 300 people a night on an entire weekend. And it still rules, you know, but like now it's like club wise, like, oh, I'd love to get to be feature level at the club.
Mm-hmm.
I've only gotten to do that once so far, and it was so much fun. But you know, they've got all their guidelines they have to do, so typically those aren't available. You know, so
yeah,
I guess that would be the next thing you get past, like at the club level, to do a feature set. But as far as a hard and fast goal for this year, it's just work, get out there, get in the new scenes, meet new people, you know, and just keep doing the damn thing.
it's crazy to think about differences and like goals and stuff like that, because I tried to talk to people about their goals a bit too, but like right now you're like, I'm at the club, I'm doing weekends, which is cool, and I want to get to the feature and whatnot. Like it's like just going back to that like first open mic night, you know, and it's like no idea you'd get there, you know, and it's just like it's, and I try to think about the open mic comics now that are very entry level comedians, and they're, you know, they're just trying to get like opening spots on any bar show that they can, and you know.
Well, I mean, the first time you swing a baseball bat, you don't hit a home run, right? So it's like you have to. If you try to go to the top of the ladder, you're going to fall. You have to go step by step. You have to do it that way. And I was talking to a buddy. It's like there's so many newer comics that would see where I'm at and be like, "Oh my god, that's amazing." Where now she's like, "Okay, this is where I'm at." You know, but what's the next thing for me here? You know, so I try not to take for granted that it's like, you know, it's living in a small town, Binghamton, New York, and still like getting sometimes 12 to 15 shows in a single month. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like
great.
It's so easy to look at anyone else's show poster like, man, why didn't I get that offer? But it's like, you know what? All the shows you're on, all the other people look at like, man, why am I not on that show? So it's like be thankful for what you got and keep your nose, and just be a good citizen and support your scene. You know, like I go out to as many shows as I can that I'm not on. I will pay because chances are I know someone who's on the show. You know, I think if you don't support your scene financially, then you're not supporting your scene. If I've sold enough tickets to pay everyone, cool, yeah, come on in. But like, if I'm 8 tickets short and you walk in, you're a comic, give me $10, brother. You know? It's not my duty to entertain you.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and sometimes I'm poor. I'm like, yo, Mike, can I? He's like, yeah, of course. You know, but he also knows that, you know, 9 out of 10 times, even if he tells me no, I'm going to Venmo him $10-15 anyway. So
yeah, I think it's I think you supporting your scene, I think, is important. But sometimes it comes down to that when you're producing, actually. Like if you've got a lineup and you like, I don't know how you receive this, but like sometimes I'll get like 3 or 4 people in a month that are just like, hey, do you have a guest spot you can throw me on? And then it's like, you know, if I think all of them are funny and all of them would fit in this lineup, then I'm just like, all right, well, how do I pick? And it's like, well, who's coming out to these shows and watching them, you know, and making me feel like this room is a little bit more full every time I do it, you know? It's very important.
Yeah. Who's consistently going to the mics? Who's putting in the work? Who's sharing the post? Who's going to the shows? Exactly. And it's like, you don't know how many times I've gotten a gig just by being around.
Yep. Yeah.
I tell everyone, if you're going to a show, have 5 minutes in your pocket because they might ask you. You know, what's the worst happens? Be ready. And like, I typically don't give guest spots, but if I have a comic come from out of town and they bring one of their buddies who wasn't booked on the show, but it's like, okay, I know they're funny. It's like, yeah, you want to do 5? Do 5. But I never do it until they're in the room. I don't ask them beforehand. You know, it's like, okay, oh, you're here. You showed up. Can you hear my cat screaming?
I didn't hear that, but
But no, like I will try to, reward people for showing up. But again, it's the people who are doing the work and the people who are showing up and supporting your shows.
Yeah.
You know,
Um, the just to talk about production a little bit more, do you get like a lot of submission tapes or like people hitting you up a lot?
not a lot. Come festival time, yes. But no, typically, yeah, you get people who hit you up, and it's like, if they're bad, I just leave it on red. But I'll
Okay.
watch the tape and I'll see, and if it's good, I'll be like, yeah, you're willing to reaching out. I'll try to work you in. But like, I book so far in advance, I think people think it's bullshit. Like right now, I'm booked through November.
Yeah.
Like I had a
Amazing.
guy hit me up. He's like, hey, I'd like to take the show to Kirkman. I was like, dude, ask me in October
Yeah.
because like, because I'm full. I'm not adding anything else, but I'd like to keep a gap in case there's something that comes up. Like I shot a Hail
Yep.
Mary. Like David Tell's gonna be in Syracuse for a few weeks. I hit his agent up. I was like, hey, any chance? Like, how many seats? Like 55. Like, no. Yeah, because I get it. He doesn't need my money. Yeah, but I was like, maybe he's running an hour. He really wants to do it again. But
Yeah.
like I always like try to keep those spots open. Or if there's anyone who I like who's going there, like, oh, okay, can I fit him in somewhere? Can I add a day to
Yeah.
their thing? Because it doesn't make sense for Jean-Marco Cereze to come do a Wednesday night in Endicott, but he was driving through anyway. Literally comes through Binghamton to go to Rochester.
Hmm.
So all it cost him was leaving New York City 12 hours earlier than he was going to.
Yeah. And makes him a grand. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So if you make it make sense for people, you can get lucky, and that's
Yeah.
So I'm always looking like who's at the Funny Bones, who's going to Helium, who's going to the Carlson. What sucks is like when like New York City guys are going to Buffalo, they're always flying. So it's like, shit,
Oh
that doesn't
yeah.
help me. So it's like, yeah, make sure they're driving. The first question is always, hey, are you driving to Rochester? If so, but otherwise, I
Yeah.
know it's not going to happen.
That's so like I also tell people to like circle back because I try to book out far ahead of time. Not as far as November, but which I should for some of the shows, I guess. But yeah, I do like to kind of like leave it open for flexibility, I guess. Especially with like trying to work more with like our local don't tells to see like who's in the area because they'll pull people up from the city and it's just like all right, well this person's going to be like a 10-minute drive away, like can we throw them on and have it work out timing wise, but they're not, I can't put who I would have had open at headliner just because of timing, that's a weird thing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes the hardest spot to fill is the 10-minute spot because
Hmm.
it's like, okay, like you don't want to use someone who's got 25 in a 10,
Yeah.
right? Because you're wasting, oh, I can use them in 2 months. I need that spot full, but like then it's like, okay, well, the people who only have 10 probably really only have 6, so it's like as they're working up. But I mean, they're never going to figure out they have that until they get a chance to do it. So
Hmm.
it's a hard spot to fill. It's a hard place to be in, especially when we have a short bench. Like you guys have a lot more usable people within an hour of you, whereas
Yeah, for sure.
much thinner bench up here.
Yeah, where I am is like hour from Albany and an hour from like Beacon, and there's so many comedians in between. And then, the city, if you take a train, is like an hour and 40, I think. So
Oh yeah, I went to
yeah.
school in New Paltz, so I used to
Oh
always
yeah.
Poughkeepsie, jump on the train. Yep.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Have you so you've been down here for Laugh It Up. Have you ever done any shows in our area or anything like that?
No, not really. I've done an Andy McDermott show down in Hudson.
Okay.
Andy's the best, and I did the Hudson Valley Comedy Festival a couple years ago, and
Okay.
that's when
Very cool.
I was like, oh, this sucks. I can do better than this. And so that's why, like, I went home and literally booked a date 8 months later to do it.
Okay, very
like,
cool.
can I have a weekend? They're like, why not? Let's give it a try. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a horrible experience.
Why, can I ask why? Because I did it this past year and it was good, but I was only there for 40 minutes because I was producing another show like an hour away. So like I was there and I hung out for a little bit, did a very good set, I think, and I dipped out of there. but like, was it just like the overall weekend in total, or what? Like,
Yeah, so it ended up being like fun because I got a space with like a buddy from Rochester and a buddy from Buffalo who were also
hmm
doing it. So we just got an Airbnb. We had a great weekend just hanging out.
cool.
But yeah, so it was you get accepted in, and then like literally 2 days before, you find out your set is a 3-minute set on a Friday night with 40 other comics.
Oh, huh.
And then if you get voted through, you get to do another 3-minute set on Sunday.
Interesting. Huh. I think they changed that.
Good, because it fucking
Yeah,
sucked.
yeah. I think they changed that because I just did like I did 10 on Saturday, but it was at like 6 o'clock in the evening, I think. But I did a 10 on Saturday, and that was like their comedians showcase, and they had like the other stuff they had was like storytelling the night before that was funny, and then like kids comedy and like all that other kind of stuff. So I think they
It
just
sounds
had
like
more
they've
like
changed it
variety.
up.
Yeah,
We'll have to check
yeah.
privately to see if it was a different person organizing it.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. They
yeah, and then like the Saturday, there was a couple shows, and they were just like billed as like it was one of those shows where there's no names on it, but it's billed as YouTube, Netflix, WSKG, and then it's
okay.
like you go to the show and it's like it's just the same people. Like it's 10 of the people who were on Friday, just doing 8 to 12 minutes instead of 3.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Rough.
like, yeah, it's just like I don't know. I didn't love it, but
Yeah.
that's what it's like. So I'm doing it different, and I'm doing it in a way that I like. And
hmm
people have probably come to my thing and be like, "Well, that sucked. Sorry." It's like we're
Yeah,
not all
yeah.
gonna like what it is, but we had. I think of we had probably like 50% of the people who did the first year reapply for the second year. So it's like, all right,
That's cool.
that shows you something.
Yeah. I did the Ithaca Festival last year, and
It's
that was a good
collapsed.
is the HOF one.
Yeah, Kenny McLaurin. That's my guy.
Yeah. Cool. So I did that one last year. That one was pretty cool. Again, it was one of those things where like I got out of work, got in the car, drove straight there, 3 hours, and then I did my spot, and then I got out of that, drove back home for 3 hours because I had to work the next day.
Yep.
So
Were you
yeah,
at the NRE space or the downstairs?
I was at I think they had a space that was becoming a storefront, but wasn't a store yet.
Okay. Were
Um,
you on the early show?
I was on, no, it started at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I think.
Okay.
And then there was like a show before us that just started like a half hour, or maybe like an hour before at a dispensary down the street. Um, but yeah, it was like I think it was a Saturday that I was on, and I got out there and yeah, I just did my spot. It was like a showcase kind of format, and we concluded with this woman that was a comedian but also does tarot cards, and I'm blanking
Karen
on her name.
Otowski.
Karen Otowski. Yeah. So
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So you were. I did the night before. I headlined
oh,
one of
okay,
those shows. Yeah. Karen's
very
incredible.
cool.
She's the best. She's back in LA now, but she's gonna be back in Pennsylvania in a few weeks.
Oh, sick. Yeah, she was funny. I thought she was really good. I mean, my whole lineup was really good. Everything was really cool. I just wish I could have hung out longer to maximize the festivalness of the festival. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. I ended
No,
up just like treating it like a regular spot.
Karen's the only person we've had headline Crooked Mouth 3 times.
Oh, wow.
She's, because like you have someone like that who's that good and that funny, who's just living in Utica. It's like don't waste it. Like we always knew she
Yep.
was going to leave when her parents died. So it's like get her now. And
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
such
yeah.
a sweetheart. She's so easy to work with. It's so funny.
Yeah, she took her time after she I think she did like 25 or 30 or something like that. And she took her time afterwards to just talk to all the comedians and just see if they had any questions. I don't think she broke out the cards for that, but
Sure. Right.
she's like, "Oh no, you're gonna be a failure."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like same thing. Move along. She's fantastic. That's great you got to work with her before she left. She's fantastic.
Yeah, it was really cool. I like that festival. And I also did Staten Island last year too. And that one they kind of just like threw me on one of these like last end of the week shows. And it was a little weird. It was interesting setup. But I mean, to be fair, it was like um Charlie Kirk died, 9/11, and then our comedy show after that. So it was
I mean, so the week had already been so funny.
yeah, again, everybody's done
People were
laughing. They were
laughed
there,
out. Yeah.
yeah, so much. And then it's also Staten Island. So I got down there. I've said this on the pod before, but I got down there and I was like, anything I should know about the crowd, whatever. And he goes, it's Staten Island. Don't talk about 9/11 and not too much Trump stuff. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, Kirk either. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
that's the reddest part of the city until you get to Long Island. Yeah. I've done a couple shows in the city. Like, I think what's nice is doing all the stuff up here. Like, you meet the people who are down there. So I did a little show sharing, and I got to do like a couple spots down in Brooklyn last summer, and that was a lot of fun. It was one of those things where it's like, you're okay, but it's good to go down and prove it. Like, oh, this is a New York City comedy show, and it's the same bullshit as a Binghamton comedy show. It's like, you're funny. It's not like just because there's 4,000 comics down there, it doesn't mean there's 4,000 killer comics. The numbers are
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so true. Like, definitely whenever I go down there, I'm always just like, this is a little bit more special because I kind of have to prove it to myself that in the belly of the beast of where like comedy is like, breathing, like I need to get in there and survive. Yeah. Probably not the best on the lineup, but I gotta.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, there's something to be said for any creative endeavor when you go out there and like, not even just like do good, but just don't embarrass yourself. It's like, oh, okay. It's like you kind of get like, jumped in, so to speak. It's like, okay, good. Yeah, like you're one of us now.
Yeah, it's like like other art forms don't really get that as much. I mean, I guess like musicians, right? But you never see like, you're not like walking around like the Met in New York City, and then you just see some guys like hand turkey on the wall.
Wouldn't it be so funny to be like at a classic art museum and they have like art open mic where you bring your painting and you hang it up for 5 minutes, people just like, boo.
Yeah. I think I just bombed this painting open mic. Yeah.
Yeah. This Victorian woman sucks.
Yeah. They should do those fuckers.
They should. That's a good idea.
They could do that for photography for sure. Like there are some like photographers out there that I'm like, all right, I can see the difference. you know?
Or a museum of natural history has someone just like bringing like their dead dog and put it next to dinosaurs.
Yeah. It will be bones though. Like, it's not the same,
will
Kyle.
Yeah. That's funny. Never thought about that. That's fun.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. So, where can people find you for social media and stuff? And do you want them to send you tapes? No.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's my Instagram. I'm Steve is Jewish, and then on Facebook, just Stephen Brown with PH. TikTok, Steve is Jewish. I don't give out my Twitter because it's mostly just all goth bitches I follow. So that's embarrassing to show other people.
Oh, yeah.
Professionally.
You and me both, brother.
Oh yeah, power.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, there was this one, it was like a beautiful goth woman, and all she did was like bake different kinds of breads. And I was like, I've never had something curated so specifically for me. This is my dream woman.
I have a friend who bakes sourdough bread a lot, and they just know to send me the video of the cut into the bread,
Yeah.
and then opening the loaf. I'm just like, that noise, that ASMR is like very applicable.
Dude, hell yeah. And I was just like banging zucchini breads and everything, and just like with boobs. I was like, this is perfect. This is the future liberals want. This is.
Yeah. That's my algorithm, man. I want that.
Dude, I have worked hard to curate it, but then the funniest thing is she found out like OnlyFans, the owner of it was very pro-Israel, so she took herself off the platform. I was like, I didn't know this is how I was going to choose sides.
Tell me that's a bit, dude.
It should be, right? I haven't yet.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that's like that's your Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, exactly.
we were out of this until that
Yeah.
happened.
I didn't know where I stood. And then someone made the choice for me.
That's not okay. It's not okay. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great having you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure
yeah.
we'll rock it together again. Thank you for having me on and spending all this time with me, listening to my bullshit. I appreciate it. And thanks to my kids for staying in the rooms for an hour. So that was nice
I didn't see them once. You know, this is
Nope.
This is gonna be horrible. My
working.
pervert. Yeah, pretend you work.
Sorry.
Yeah, all the perverts that watch my show are gonna be like, "Oh, there was no kids. Like we thought he had kids."
I was promised a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, we've just been edging them for like 40 minutes to an hour.
Well, you know where they love that? On the islands. Epstein and Stanton. That's what big fans.
There we go.
All
right. Well,
thank you for very much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no sweat. And then when you stop recording, we can find out who ran that festival.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. And I'll edit that part too.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. That's what we let them know. We're like, we're gonna talk shit like immediately after.
Yeah, you got jokes and you're insightful.